A very good morning, class. Till now, we have understood that how the electrons, protons, and neutrons were discovered. They were named as subatomic particles because atom is, which were like in class 9th, third chapter, we were there that atom is indivisible. But after that discovery of electron microscope and many research and the experiment, we got to know that atom is not indivisible. It is also made up of lots of particles. Out of that, the three are the main fundamental particles. Okay, so now we are having electron, proton, and neutron. How to how we have arranged them? Yes, where the electron will be there, and where proton will be there, where neutron will be there. That we have to explain. Okay, so in order of that infrastructure, we can say that the model, the many scientists worked upon it, and they have given lots of number of models. So out of that, few work for some time, and that is the first one is which came in existence and which were like accepted by some people. That is for some time. So that is Thomson model. Okay, so let me start with the discovery of electrons, protons, and neutrons. Scientists tried to determine their relative position in an atom, and various models of structure of an atom were suggested. So in order of that, the first was Thomson atomic model. Thomson atomic model, according to this, it was said that atom is positively charged sphere in which electrons are embedded randomly like seeds of watermelon. Like watermelon, we know this is the similarly as like watermelon, the atom is a sphere of positively charged particle. Okay, like red one, whatever the red part are there, and the seeds embedded here and there. There is no fixed number for the seeds. There is no fixed pattern for the seeds. So similarly, electrons are embedded in that positively charged sphere like seeds of watermelon. It was also known as plum pudding model. Like we know, pudding model, there is something there, so we can, it's not fixed, neither fixed position nor fixed number, something. So that is also like it was named as plum pudding model also. Okay, next, like this, you can see that this is the watermelon like structure. In this, the positive part, the orange part is completely, this is the positively charged sphere, and in which this negative charge, the electron are embedded. Yes. Thomson model of an atom, what it says and how it is like that. An atom may be regarded as a positively charged sphere in which protons are present. Okay. So this positively charged sphere that is protons. The negatively charged electrons may be regarded as stubbed or embedded in this sphere, like seeds of watermelon. The positive charge due to protons and the negative charge is due to the electrons balance each other because protons and electrons number are same. As a result, an atom as a whole is electrically neutral, or it has no net charge. Yes. Limitation, Thomson model. Okay, many people accepted this. It worked for some time, but there was a demerit. There was the limitation. The Thomson model of an atom was unable to explain how the positively charged particles are shielded from the negatively charged particle without getting neutralized. I mean to say, like, if positive and negative are there, so obviously they are attracting each other. So why they are existing separately? Why not they are what is the reason? It was not explained by Thomson model. So that was the limitation. And moreover, along with this, he didn't explain the number of electrons present in that, number of protons kya honge, kahan honge, kaise atoms ki neutrality ko maintain rakhenge. They didn't mention this thing. He didn't mention that thing. So that is called limitation. Okay. So after that, next experiment done, and that was done by Rutherford atomic model. He has done an experiment, Rutherford alpha scattering experiment, and after that he has given the Rutherford's atomic model. What was that? This was, in this case, what he has done, he has taken some alpha rays because he was knowing about the charge of alpha. Yes. And he has taken gold atom and gold foil. Okay. So let me draw some with the help of drawing. Let me do this. This is the atom, gold atom he has taken. I'm making it big Okay, in the book you can see that lots of small particles will be there. I'm taking just one. Okay, and he observed all the alpha rays on the gold foil as a screen. He has taken this screen, what we say, thinness was 10 to the power minus 4 millimeter, that much thin gold foil. Okay, AU foil. And he has taken gold atom also. So I just want to ask that why he has taken only the gold atom and gold foil, why not any other element and any other atom or foil. Okay, he has bombarded some alpha rays. So this is alpha rays which is having same charge as helium. Like helium, it is having +2 charge, isn't it? And atomic mass is 4. Similarly, this alpha rays were having. Okay. So I have asked a question that why he has taken AU atom for bombarding and why he has taken AU foil for this screening. So let me explain you. This AU is a least reactive element. Yes, so that's why he has taken AU, because if it would have taken, he would have taken another element. It might be like that alpha rays can react with this, isn't it? It's possible. Possibility is there. So that's why he has taken the least reactive element, atom of least reactive element, and that is AU. Another thing, why he has taken this thin foil of AU only? Again, the same answer, that because it is least reactive. But along with that, the second answer is the gold is the most malleable element. So we can beat it into that much thinness. Yes, इतना पतला हम इसे कर सकते थे. So other atoms is not capable of beating like this, isn't it? So that's why AU foil has been taken by the scientist. Okay. Now, when he bombarded alpha rays, so what he observed, let me draw this. Okay, so I have drawn the picture over here. You can see that he bombarded some many rays of alpha particle. Yes, and what he observed that many particles, like this red one, many particles cross the atom without any deviation. They crossed, simply they crossed. They don't get deflected. Okay, so this was the first observation, that many particles without any disturbance, without any deviation, cross the atom. Second observation, he observed that some particles, when they came closer to the nucleus, they got deflected and they move away from the nucleus. It was not moving towards the nucleus, it was moving away from the nucleus. You can see that here green one, and here also you can see that the green one, that deflecting. Okay. And third observation was that very few, even you can say that 1 out of 20,000 just bounce back on the same path. जिस path पे वो गया था उसी path पे वापस आ गया. That was very few. You can say that 1 out of 20,000. Okay, so these were the 3 observation, and then he concluded 3 points over there. The first point was that outer part of the atom is empty. Then only there was no obstacle and it crossed the atom without any deviation. Outer part is empty. First observation. Second observation was, he said that there is since alpha rays was having positive charge, and when it comes closer to the nucleus, we can see that it is getting deflected, isn't it? So that means this nucleus is having, for sure, having positive charge. Then only the repulsion will be there. Yes. So that's why the second conclusion, they concluded that the central part of the nucleus is having positive charge. And third one, this went back, this returned back to on the same path. It means that the center path is very hard. That's why bounce back हो गया. Okay. And why only one? If it would have bigger size, bigger area, then maybe 20, 50, 70, 700, something like particles can be back. But just one out of 20,000. That means the central part is very, very, very tiny, isn't it? So there were the three observation. So on this basis, he has given some, like this is the experiment. So this is the chart we have to learn. Let me erase all this. Okay, so experiment was that Rutherford bombarded alpha rays having same charge as helium atom on gold atom and observed that on 10 to the power minus 4 thin gold foil. Okay, this one, that experiment. Observation was 3 observation. Most of the rays passed through an atom without any deviation. बिना किसी deviation के ये just वापस आ गए. Some just cross कर गए. Some rays get deflected near the nucleus. कुछ rays out of that 20,000, few rays get deflected near the nucleus. Okay. Let me like conclusion also एक साथ ही मैं conclusion का भी ये कर देती हूँ explain. Most of the rays pass through atom without any deviation. It shows that the outer part of the atom is empty. Then only it will move, because if some obstacle is there, obviously some like displacement will there, some deflection will be there, isn't it? But since outer part is empty, so that's why there was no deflection, there was no deviation. Second observation, some rays get deflected near the nucleus. That means we were knowing that alpha rays is having positive charge and it get deflected near the nucleus, will be away from the nucleus. So that means the central part of an atom is having positive charge. Okay. And third is 1 out of 20,000 rays return at the same path. That means the center of an atom is very tiny and very rigid structure, which is having positive charge. Obviously ऊपर वाले से हमने कर लिया. So this was the conclusion of Rutherford alpha scattering experiment, and on this basis he explained that neutron and proton will reside in the center while the electrons will revolve around the nucleus. Okay, so by this experiment only, like this is the experiment, you can see that this animation, yes, how it is crossing, like some is moving like this, gold foil को ये cross कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं, some are getting deflected, ये इधर जा रहे थे. You can see that. This is the one. See, I have done all that in one single picture, but here it is done in different pictures. So like this, you can see that electrons are like some getting undeflected here, some getting deflected, like, isn't it? You can see that deflect हो गया. And 1 out of that return back. So that also you can see. So this is not to be drawn. ये आपको draw नहीं करना था. Okay. Now, so on this basis, he has given some postulate, and the postulate is an atom consists of 2 parts. These are nucleus and extra nucleus portion. Okay. Nucleus is present in the center of atom, which is surrounded by extra nuclear portion. That means if this is nucleus and this is an atom, so this part is called extra nucleus part. This one is extra nucleus part. Okay. The size of the nucleus is very small as compared to that of atom. Atom के comparison में बहुत छोटा होता है size इसका. The mass of an atom is mainly of nucleus. पूरे atom का जो mass होता है वो nucleus में होता है. All the protons and the neutrons discovered later on by Chadwick are present in the nucleus. This protons and ये neutrons जो हैं, जो कि discovered होगा बाद में, अभी हमने करना है, although I have explained you. So discovered by later on by Chadwick, are present in the nucleus. The positive charge on the nucleus is because of proton present in that nucleus. Each proton has 1 unit positive charge. That we know this thing. The total positive charge of the nucleus due to the presence of protons is same as that of electrons present in the extra nuclear space. This is the important point, that whatever the number of protons are there will be equal to the number of electrons present in the extra nuclear space. And that is the reason why the atom is electrically neutral. Electrons present in the extra nuclear portion are not stationary. वो stationary नहीं होते हैं. They always move in a fixed path. These are revolving around the nucleus at very high speed following a circular path. Okay, and this circular path is known as orbit. That will also be explained. The revolving electrons do not come closer to the nucleus or drawn towards the nucleus because their force of attraction towards the nucleus is balanced by the centrifugal force, which is of the same magnitude. That was like electrons were moving around, so that was maintained by centrifugal force, which is of the same magnitude, and जितना वो अपने तरफ attract कर रहा है nucleus उतना ही वो centrifugal force लगा रहा है, and that's why it is in a fixed path. It is directed away from the nucleus. It has been found that electrically charged atom, what is the drawback? Okay, सब explain तो कर दिया, but some limitation is there, some drawback is there. So what was the drawback? It has been found that if an electrically charged particle revolves around the circular path, then it always radiates out energy. ये एक्सपेरिमेंटली ये देखा गया है कि जब भी कोई इलेक्ट्रिकल चार्ज पार्टिकल किसी भी पाथ में किसी भी सब्सटेंस के अराउंड सर्कुलर पाथ पे वो रोटेट कर रहा है, वो मूव कर रहा है, तो इट इज ऑलवेज रेडिएटिंग आउट. ओके, एनर्जी को रेडिएट करता है, एंड सिंस एनर्जी इट इज लूजिंग, सो वन टाइम इट विल कम दैट let me draw. This is the nucleus center, okay, and the nucleus, that electron is revolving like this. Electron is revolving like this. So since it is radiating energy, तो धीरे धीरे इसकी energy down होती जाएगी, and it will come closer to the nucleus, when closer, more closer, and once it will fall in the nucleus, isn't it? Like it will come closer to the nucleus, और एक टाइम ऐसा आएगा जब वो nucleus के अंदर ही गिर जाएगा. So this is not explaining the stability of the neutral atom, stability of the atom. इससे क्या हुआ, इनके एक्सपेरिमेंट से एटम की जो स्टेबिलिटी थी दैट ऑल comes in contradiction. Yes, so that was the big drawback. It must continuously radiate out energy and hence gradually move towards nucleus in a spiral path till it collides with the nucleus. Okay, however, we know that atom is very much stable, but Rutherford atomic model cannot explain its stability. So that's why Rutherford alpha scattering experiment, Rutherford model को discard करना पड़ा. Okay, so after that, Rutherford model of an atom does not say anything about the arrangement of electrons in an atom. Electrons कहाँ होंगे, कितने होंगे, इन सब चीजों को explain नहीं किया था Rutherford ने, and that is also a demerit for that. Okay. So next, after this, there is a next model came, that is Bohr-Bury model, Bohr atomic model, and that is the accepted model. Still it is accepted with few limitations are there, but this is most accepted model till now. Okay, so that we will do in our next class, and after that isotopes, isobars also we have to do. So we'll do in next class. Just watch the video thoroughly. Go through with the PDF, write the points, important points over there, and we'll meet in the next video. Till then, thank you, class.